Welcome back to the Junk Family Show, the only place where the trucks are loud, the opinions are louder, and the junk, well, we handle that too. I'm your host, Paul Italia, owner of Fuhgeddaboutit Junk Removal, where we don't just clean up messes, we make some noise while we do it. So, guys, what's going on? If you guys haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I want to just go over a quick rundown of what we got coming up on the channel. So Tuesday, May 20th, we got Russ Burry coming from Rochester, New York. We're going to be doing a live 8 p.m. Eastern time one-on-one with Russ Burry. We know Russ has been making a lot of noise in the Facebook groups of recently. Him and Andrew Thompson been going back and forth. So we're going to hear from Russ and kind of get down to all that and figure out what's going on with all that drama. And we also got another one that I'm really excited about. We got my man Dan Beals. He's going to be a speaker at the Junk Expo this year, and we're going to have him on Tuesday, May 27th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. He's coming on a one-on-one interview. Then also, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to go and get your tickets for the Junk Expo. It's going down October 24th and 25th. Sonoma Strong. If you haven't already, get over to Matt and JoJo Vic and purchase your tickets. They got a stacked lineup of speakers. Let me go through a couple of the speakers that they'll have that day. Well, it's actually 2 days, this one. We're going to have double the fun. But we got our man, Andrew Thompson, going to be there. We got the Junk MD team coming through. Louis Vandervalk, the SEO Titan. Robert Allen. Toby Stubbs, the man of commercial insurance. Dan Beals from Dan's Haulaway, who he'll be on tonight on the Junk Family. We got Adam McKenzie and Abel Dominguez, which Abel was on last week with us, and he's at a Temecula, and what a great speaker he is as well. So, guys, make sure to get your tickets. They sold out last year. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be an amazing event. Like I said, October 24th and 25th, Santa Rosa, California. 2 days. It's going to be so much fun. All the junk people from across the country are making a trip. I think we could fit like 500 or 600 people this time. I mean, last time there wasn't even enough spaces. I think 300 people was sold out so quick. So don't sleep on this one, guys. So it is my pleasure tonight. Let's introduce this stacked powerhouse lineup of industry legends and wild cards. We got my man Kevin Hess, the author, the boss, the man with a plan, and probably a whiteboard full of strategy. We got Bean Burgos doing big things out of Indiana. We got my man Aaron from Shamrock Hauling doing big things cowboy style. We got my man Dan Beal, calm, calculated, and always cutting through the trash, literally and figuratively. We got my man Adam Hummel, Mr. Innovation, always one step ahead of everybody in the junk game. And of course, the one and only Mr. Yee Yee, the king of content. What is up, everybody? Let me just get everybody on here right now. We got lots of, and we got my man Andrew Thompson has just popped on from Autopilot. What is up, everybody? And my man Steve. Oh wow, we got tons. Everybody's popping in on here. Steve, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
So welcome everybody.
Hello. Thanks for having us, man. This is cool.
Hell yeah. So this is the community show, trying to bring everybody together, a place where we all can network, kind of kick back and just talk trash, guys. So Andrew, want to talk with you, brother. I know you got a lot of big things going on. I see you've been going on a journey all over the U.S., making a tour, popping up, seeing everybody. Also seeing a lot of crazy drama and stuff going on in the Facebook group, seeing that you might be opening up something in New York and something with you and Russ Berry, boxing matches, all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's tap in with Andrew first, brother. Kind of catch us up. What is going on and where are you right now, bro?
So I'm finally back home. The road trip was 2 weeks long. Dude, it was awesome. Met tons of awesome people. I drove from Los Angeles to Nashville, Tennessee. I was gonna go all the way to Florida. I was gonna go down to Florida, but I was just like, dude, I'm done driving. So yeah, and I made a post since Russ Berry hates me. I have friends out in Rochester, so I made a post saying I'm going out to Rochester. And he didn't like that post. And Matt and JoJo showed me he went crazy on that post. And I can't get into my Facebook, so I guess he's been going crazy on me again in the Facebook groups, just like yesterday or something. Matt and JoJo are like trying to shut it down and telling us to be friends. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not starting a business in Rochester. I was just going to Rochester, and he just so that drama, I don't know, man. It's pretty funny. And I'm more than willing to talk about it because I know is this the new controversial show or is this the kid-friendly PG show?
This is well, no, we're not kid-friendly PG show here, but this is the Junk family. So this is not the drama, the new show that we're cooking up and all. But I do want to catch up on this, bro, because I don't think I was around when this whole feud begun. You know, I'm trying to catch up. I see some of the posts going back and forth. I got Bean in there keeping me intact with everything and up to date and all that. So what's going on, bro? Like, I know what's been going on in the last week, but how did it all get to where we're at now?
Yeah, so I'll just, obviously it's not drama. I'm just going to state facts. And we'll go from there. So this is just mature adults talking facts, not trying to start drama. A long time ago, Ricardo and Russ hated each other, and they would go at each other for Ricardo's $45 fridges. And one time I saw Russ say something like, "I'm going to come out there and kill you," right? Some very aggressive thing. And then I was like, whoa, hold the fucking phone. Russ is very like, "I'm going to kill you and beat you up. I'm stronger than you." And I took it upon myself to go make a boxing photo, right? That these two need a box. And Russ and I used to talk. I used to hit him up for advice all the time, and he did not like that boxing photo. He took it personal. I saw them like cussing each other out in the public Facebook groups and like literally saying, "I'm going to fucking kill you." To each other, like literally. And I was like, let's do a gentleman's boxing match. And Matt and JoJo were all about, I was going to have the boxing match, and everybody supported it and thought it'd be like a fun thing to do. And I was going to put some money on the table for a friendly boxing match. And then Russ Berry said, only if I can get a locked cage with no referee and I can have a baseball bat. And that's where, and he was dead serious. And that's where I was like, okay, you know what? You kind of made this weird. It was meant to be fun and funny because you two hate each other. And it was supposed to be a highlight exposition like event at the Junk Expo. I was going to get the licenses and I was going to do all this stuff. And ever since that, he's just so now that is where the drama came from. I was just trying to have a gentleman's boxing match. That's all.
Oh wow. Okay, now it's all making sense, and I'm kind of understanding everything. And I also hear there was a lot of drama between him and Ricardo. So what was that all about? You know, kind of when did that start, and like how did that all play out?
So that's been a running funny fucking thing between for at least a year. I saw it because Ricardo gives let's just say, I don't want to say bad advice, but not good advice that I would recommend. Like Ricardo was on Matt and JoJo's channel telling everybody not to get general liability insurance. Pretty not good advice, like not smart. So Russ doesn't like Ricardo's advice and just says, "You're a piece of crap. I hate you. You suck. You give bad advice. You're a bad businessman." And some advice is good. Some advice is not. And that is where their feud began, basically, with the whole so it was funny drama, and then it got really serious. So, and now I am the new Ricardo.
Okay. So I think Russ is in there. Is that who 7-figure junk removal? And he says, so the Facebook post you took down that said you have a proposition for anyone in Rochester, New York was a lie. Does anybody know? Is that Russ?
Oh yeah, that's Russ. So no, it wasn't.
It's happening now.
Bring him on. Bring him on.
So I want to guys just let you guys know my man Drew, he's in the arm wrestling world, and he's helping me moderate, and he just said, is there a Barry involved that makes sense? Barry Born. The reason why he said that is we had a feud going on in the arm wrestling world, so I decided I was going to throw a big cage match with these two guys, and we ended up doing it over in West Virginia. These two guys just hated each other so much, and one of them was Barry Born, and we got them in a cage. We did 3 1-minute rounds. They had had the gloves on and the headgear, and we had a couple hundred people coming to watch it live. It was like broadcast across the country, thousands of people tuning in and all that. So I do have experience with things like that. Awesome. And so if we ever do want to get something like that going, maybe an arm wrestling match or a boxing match, we can make that happen.
I gotta respond.
Ricardo,
I gotta respond to him because he keeps bringing this up all the time and like saying this on Facebook. So he's saying, you should actually get workers' comp, and everybody knows this. I've been talking about this on my YouTube channel for a very long time. That in the beginning I had 1099, and one kid broke his leg, and he constantly he keeps doing this. I have screenshots if you can't remember, and Matt and JoJo show me all the stuff that's said all the time and basically I got sued for not having workers' comp, and I make it a learning lesson on my YouTube channel since day one of why you should not pay people under the table. But Russ likes to say, hey, I've got screenshots that you should get workers' comp. Obviously, you should get workers' comp. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning, hence the reason why I teach people now to always get W-2, and they're not contractors. But he thinks it's like he can use it against me as if I'm like, everybody makes mistakes. So it's just quite funny that I'm very public about that on my YouTube channel. I've been teaching people and telling people about that for like 2 years on YouTube. And yes, you should get workers' comp, and you should not cheat the system and pay people under the table because they will sue you. So yes.
So Andrew, give me the platform for 1 second, brother. I want to kind of tie this all into things right now. So the show that I was kind of cooking up was kind of like I wanted to get strong personalities with different opinions. And the reason why I'm doing this, guys, I just want to make this clear. I'm not here hunting for drama. I'm not trying to stir a pot and stir shit up like that. What I am trying to do is there's a lot of opinions out in the junk removal world. And I'm trying to figure out things for myself. I'm brand new. I'm 4 months in, and I'm trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. And when you listen to some of these strong personalities, they are very adamant, some of them, that this works and this doesn't. And then somebody else says this works and this doesn't, and we're getting a lot of confusion because people are providing services, they're charging money and all. So it shades kind of like what you really need to be doing. So what I was thinking about doing was getting all these opinions together and kind of debating it on here. Not so much for the drama, but kind of to get an answer at the end of it all. What makes sense for you? Rather than just hearing somebody selling something and being like, all right, I think that's, something we need to do. Let's debate this kind of stuff out. Let's hear from people that were successful with using those services or weren't successful. This way that, the junk removal community kind of understands what's making sense for their business and what they should apply into stuff. So what I was thinking was Ricardo being one of the strong opinions, and he says anything, and he disagrees with a lot of things that Andrew was saying and all. And Andrew, the way I look at it is Andrew's very innovative and the new way of technology, and he's bringing in all these new ways of marketing and stuff that the junk removal industry, I feel like, would never have got into if Andrew didn't come around, but Russ being Ricardo being old school, he's kind of stuck in his old ways and doesn't like all this new stuff and new ways coming out. So I kind of wanted just to bring everybody together. Now I seen the whole beef going on with Russ and Andrew. So I was like, Russ might need to come on this as well, because Russ seems to, he's a coach. He also has very many years of experience. So I wanted to kind of put all these guys together. I talked to Ricardo. Ricky was down. He said, you got to talk with Russ first. I'm down to do it, but Russ, I don't think is going to want it. So I hit up Russ and all, and Russ was all down to come on until he heard Andrew was going to be involved in anything, and he didn't want nothing of it. So guys, so now that I just kind of explained everything for you guys, and I'm hoping Russ is listening. I know Ricky's definitely going to hear this and all. That's why I want to do this, guys. I'm not trying to poke you guys with a stick and here fight and entertain us and all. No, guys, I just want to hear you guys debate things out, because you guys have strong opinions and views and stuff. So what's everybody's thoughts on that? You guys kind of understand where I'm going with this? I'm trying to make this like a positive, productive thing. Dan.
Yeah. I got a lot of thoughts with this. So like, there's no right answer with any of this. Like you can do a business so many different ways. We all have our different starting points. Like, you for instance, 4 months into it, but you started with a truck, wrapped, location, all these different things. Other people, I started with a truck and trailer. Some people like start with less, like I'm still working with U-Hauls here. It's a different path for each individual person, but it's not like this. It's either this and not that. It's kind of everything. Business just rolls. You have to, pick and choose your battles. You have to find what works for you. But I think it's just fun as a content creator to be able to come up with content just in general. You want to talk about what you're doing with your business, but that's not an end all be all. Like you're just giving tips and advice and thoughts. Now, with the insurance thing, it's not good to recommend people to not have insurance. But overall, like we all start somewhere. It's just that don't strive to have no insurance for 3 years. Like get through your first year. Get your systems, find your employees. Get everything rolling. But you got to strive for that continued perfection. You can't just be sitting there doing the same thing over and over again, only worried about your bottom line. How are you growing things? How are you providing, other people with a lifestyle yourself? And there's so many different angles to that. So like, it's hard to say that there's one right answer for any of it.
Yeah, it's good. Dan, just to piggyback really quick, he's absolutely right because I would never recommend people to start with Google Ads ever, but I did, so.
See, it's like things like that. And, just like you said, Dan, how there's no one way and there's so many different ways to success. And everybody that I have had on interview, I call it a superpower. They each have their own superpower that they utilize and they've found success that way. And each way is a different way. That's why I want Ricky Ricardo on here, because he seems to not think that. He thinks it's one way. He don't want to hear nothing else. Trying to scale and getting off the truck. Oh, you're stupid. This is not the business for that. So that's why I want that debate. I mean, he's been here 18 years. There is times where I'm just like, bro, this guy, he's just got to shut up, man. But then there's other times where I'm listening. I'm like, oh my God, yo,
he's got great ideas.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, I would have never thought of that. And I'm like, holy shit, I got to look into that. So there's so many different things that I think we could gain from this. And I hope that these guys could just put that drama behind and we could just come together and let's have a conversation. We don't got to be best friends. We don't even got to like each other after this, but let's at least have the conversation for everybody. And Mr. Yee Yee, I want to hear from you, bro. What's your thoughts on this whole, bringing them all together and all? Because I know you have strong opinions as well, man. You're one of those that like keeping it simple is the way to go.
I like to keep it simple, like a number 2 pencil. You know what I'm talking about? And to me, I hear all this back and forth. This is junk removal. Anything else to me is like doesn't really even matter to me. You know what I'm talking about? And I think everybody has a right to their opinion. Everybody has a right to say what they say. I wake up and watch Ricardo, and Ricardo just hit me on Facebook, and it's love. But he's gonna have his opinion. Andrew's gonna have his opinion. I guess the guy Russ gonna have his opinion, and that's something that I think.
Mr. Yee, hold on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but somebody is trying to get on here and we're at the max of 10 people. So I don't know if Russ or Ricardo is in here trying to come on right now. So if you guys are, if Russ or Ricardo, if you are trying to, just let us know and we can possibly get somebody to pop off for a minute, let you come on and we could have, a conversation if that's what you want. I'm sorry, Mr. Yee, continue.
Nah, I'm going to hop off anyways because I got a lot going on here. I just want to check in with everybody. I'll probably pop on in a few so that way you can see who's at the door.
Definitely come back, brother. We'd love to have you on here, man. Thank you for checking in, brother.
Yes, sir. I was just getting back from a job, so I'm about to go into the house and everything. So I'll hop on in about 20 minutes. Let's see who's at the door for you.
Sounds good, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes.
I thought my boy was doing Uber. You know what I mean?
I saw the red lights behind him. I thought he was getting pulled over.
But back to what we were saying is that that's something I think that would be a great live with just those two people. But far as all of us hearing it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that's all they're doing. That's all we're hearing right now is ping pong, dink, 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 dink,
So-
and it's like there's so many other things to talk about with junk removal, and however you get it, you get it. But I'm one of the few who believe less is best. And just, get in the truck and go make it happen.
Well, Ricky
Period.
just said, he says, Russ will never make it to 10 years in the junk removal industry. Junk guys, 12 locations nationwide, 2 haunted houses, 9 trucks, 10 trailers in this business. Russ will never catch up to the junk guys. Yeah, that's one of the questions I wanted to ask Ricky Ricardo. Does he own that whole franchise? Was that him? He started that? That's all?
I don't think it's a franchise.
It's not an actual. I don't know if I'm allowed to. I'm not going to say the specific numbers because I talked to Ricardo. I know exactly what he does, but I'm not going to say talk specific numbers. He licenses out the name for a certain amount of dollars per month, but it's not like a franchise. He doesn't get royalties. He just rents out the name, and he just works closely and tries to have people work by his. But it's not like his revenue. He's not getting franchise fees. It's just he's letting people use the name for a monthly price.
That's pretty smart though, man. When did he start that? How long ago did he start that up?
I don't know how long he's been doing it, but it's been a few years. Like he's got like 4 different locations.
Very nice.
Is this him in the chats right here?
So we got a 7-figure just said, you do not own 12 locations, dipshit. You lease the name and build the websites for $200 a month. So that's Russ answering to Ricky Ricardo over there.
Yeah, no, to the Whole Foods. Oh God, dude. I
agree with that answer. Drama's good for the industry. This is fun. Just like little things like that. Like, if Andrew's involved or if I definitely see Ricardo involved in a lot of this stuff. But like he's asking for it. He's trying to have fun. He's just poking the bear. He's just
he pokes the bear very well, doesn't he?
Yeah, and like that's his superpower. He's so
that
good
is
at
his
it. Like
superpower.
He wakes up some days and he just wants to set this industry on fire, and he does. He is good at it, man.
But he's a great example, dude. Like there's so many different goals and finish lines that everybody has. Andrew over here is trying to build a giant platform for everybody. Right? Ricardo, he's just spreading his joy of how he does things across the place. Some people are trying to franchise. Some people are trying to scale across the country. Some people just want to dominate their one little city, or just have a lifestyle. There's so many different answers to this. It's just, what do you want? That's the big question.
Well, guys, I want to introduce. We got a new youngin on here, and he's doing it big over there. I believe he's only 17 years old. Josiah Jin, what's up, brother? How old are you, man?
I'm actually 16, but yeah, how you guys doing?
Oh shit!
Hell yeah, man. So he's impressed me, guys. I seen him in one of the Facebook groups, and he was asking some advice from some people. And before people got the context of learning about him, they just started saying a bunch of answers, and they were telling him get into Google Ads and all. So I'm like, you know what? Let me take the time and let's talk with him and all. So I'm like, how old are you and all? And he tells me 16, and I'm like, whoa, all right. So slow down. No Google Ads. Do we have a website? Do we have Google My Business? And then he didn't have those. I said, let's start off at the basics, guy. Let's not just start listening to everybody in the group, because if he started listening to a group, I mean, you would have spent your whole life savings. You know what I mean? And, he just got I believe you just got a dump truck, right? You got the NPR?
Yeah, so I was a couple days ago, I actually hit the 100-star review, 5-star review mark, which was sick. So we hit that a couple days ago. And then we got the Zuzu. We got that thing wrapped a couple days ago too, which was awesome. And yeah, that thing's a game changer, because I was just running around with my Ford F-150 and utility trailer for 6 months, just hand unloading stuff at the landfill, and I was able to save up enough money for the Zuzu. It was sick.
Very nice, man. So kind of tell us about your journey in, and how did you come across this so young, man? Is anybody else your age doing anything like this?
So I've definitely, I'm sure you guys have seen the Junk Teens guys. They're pretty cool. I look up to them
Who's that?
definitely.
Junk Teens?
Junk
Uh-huh.
teens, yeah, they're young.
Oh, I think I've heard of them. Yeah.
And then actually,
Yeah.
the way I got,
He's
They're
being
killing it.
sarcastic.
They're sorry to I'll hold my thought. Sorry, just keep going.
oh no, it's cool. Yeah, the way I actually got into this business is I bought Andrew's course. I found Andrew on YouTube. I was looking up
shit.
junk removal, and then I bought his course. It was like $500 or whatever, and I just did that. I would wake up every morning. I just grind out as much of that course as I could do, and it just goes over the fundamentals of growing your junk removal business.
I got a 4-hour Google Ads course in there and 15 hours of marketing on every platform. And
Exactly. Yeah.
Like breaking down Google Ads to its core and running Google Ads.
Yeah, I'm not just trying to shill his course or anything, but it's actually good.
Yee Yee started cracking up. We couldn't help it. He said about his school. What's so funny, Yee Yee?
Absolutely nothing. I'm thinking, does this guy have a work permit through high school? What's going on? 16 years old? Are you
I know,
only
good
able
for
to
him.
do like 8 hours a week? What's going on? Tell us the truth.
So
What's
I'm
the truth,
actually
Bruce?
I'm homeschooled, so I really
Oh, nice.
I don't go to school, so I really only have about 3 hours of schooling. And really, my school is just to do this, learn a lot about business and stuff. And this seems, if I actually focus all my time and energy into this instead of trying to do other stuff, I think it would make much more sense to do this. And so also a big reason I'm able to do what I'm doing is my parents are super supportive. So they're like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. So I can focus pretty much all of my efforts into this business, which is awesome.
Man.
Awesome.
Save
That's the
your
best thing you can
money.
do, dude.
Dude,
Save your money, and stay out of relationships.
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go. And 7-figure junk removal. That's Russ Berry says, I have one question. How do I figure out my future ad spend to get a certain outcome? I guess, Andrew, that would be something you would take that question.
I don't know how do I figure out my future ad spend to get I honestly don't understand the question.
If you could clarify that, Russ, what you mean by that, brother, it would help us out a lot.
How much do I need to spend in order to get X dollars back? I mean, I guess it just depends on what Google. I average 4x return on my ad spend. On a horrible month, 2x. On a great month, 5x throughout the entire year. It was a 4x return on my ad spend.
Oh, Josiah, Russ says he'll give you 5 free sessions just for being 16 and trying out, bro.
Russ knows his shit. Take his offer, even though he hates me.
He knows his stuff,
He
bro.
knows his shit.
Yep, he definitely does, man. I've been watching him since the beginning for sure.
Have you guys seen that couple within the Facebook groups? And I feel like they've been getting a lot of.
Oh, they're
lately.
killing it. Yeah.
Oh, JT's junk removal.
Yeah.
Tanner and Jackie.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
Love them. Great
They're
people.
going viral.
Great energy. I like the style of their videos, how they keep you hooked and their style of making the content. I'm definitely taking some things from that and gonna put into my content.
So
as well.
I do have one thought on it though. This is just me thinking out loud, Josiah. If it was me personally and I saw, because they're posting it on their junk removal page, if I was a customer and I came across this property manager just gave me $1,200 in 2 hours.
Right.
I feel like that should come from a personal branding page, not your company.
100%.
But to each their own. I just think if I was the customer, I wouldn't hire, but I could be wrong. Apparently,
I got to disagree with that, man. I don't think that people are actually listening to the actual pricing. I don't think they're putting together a full load equal this much money, because they are saying the numbers, but they're not actually saying the loads. So us, we could figure it out, but to customers, I don't think they're really looking into it and looking like that. I think they're more oh wow, look at this couple, they're really cool, they're really out there, I think I'm gonna hire them. And I think
it's the personality. That's the main thing. Personality.
right.
It doesn't matter that they're putting prices on there or how much they're making. Now your customer doesn't really care what kind of revenue you're doing, obviously, but your journey, like they're part of it regardless. Like they are a small part in that, and like they do bite onto that. And if you share a lot of social media stuff, they're gonna just keep on coming.
I think if you have the personality to keep them, then it doesn't really matter. But if you're inconsistent or you're posting a bunch of personal problems along with the other content, I think that's where you can lose them at.
Yes, I agree with that. So you got to make that decipher. If you're going to go and you're going to try getting your clients to be following you, then there's no drama. There's no outside. This is strictly business. You know what I mean? Making those videos, you can't be going answering back, fighting with your comment people. You know, so that's the only thing I wouldn't, you know, kind of go down that rabbit hole, because that could get really bad, you know.
That's customer service though, you know, like you gotta you can't be going crazy like flyers everywhere, you know, you can't do that.
Yeah, but I got to say, it is when you have so much people watching you, and, you know, like I always say, you got 10% are going to be your haters. So if you're bringing in tons of people, you're going to have a lot of haters coming at you. And at first, you don't always know how to handle it. You know what I mean? You kind of got to get used to the YouTube world and how to handle different situations, you know? So for some people, I think it's better that they just don't answer back the negative comments and kind of just either block those people. But, you know, I think they're going to learn from that, because I see that a lot of their day is spent, you know, kind of going back with people and kind of arguing, and you're just going to get burnt out doing that, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah. I'm going to kill them with kindness. You just respond positive. Go ahead.
So I kind of respectfully did, like, on my personal page anyway, which is where I do get a lot of my business from, man, I post some ridiculous shit. I mean, I never post anything. So, like, I have some rules. I never post anything political, because I don't think you get anything good out of it. So, like, no matter what, like, if you pick a side, the other side will literally go out of their way not to use you. And the side that you picked may choose you, they may not. But regardless, you just, like, isolated everybody. But, like, shit that I can, like, the gorilla thing, I posted some stupid, like, the 100 gorilla, or one gorilla versus 100 people. And I had somebody send me messages, like, 2 weeks ago, because some lunatic, literally an hour away, was wielding a chainsaw at their work. But, of course, they fucking look like me. So I'm getting messages from people.
I saw that.
I've seen that.
So I was like, this is great. So I posted a picture of me in the orange shirt right next to it and put it up there. And I was like, attention, you know, like, letting my customers know, like, I'm not actually a lunatic. And then I went to Lowe's the next morning and took a picture of me next to a chainsaw, like I was, like, shopping. Like, I crossed the line a lot. Or I at least tread the line. But people appreciate my Facebook and my content, because I also, like, harness it for so much good. Like, I do air conditioner giveaways all the time. I do 3, like, community-based garage sales where there's no price. You pay what you want, and all of it goes to a local nonprofit. There's so much good that I do that I think people are okay with the cheekiness that I, you know.
You know what it is, bro? It's your personality, though, man. You got that humor that just it goes with you, man. It's like, you know, we like it. It doesn't come off as, like, aggressive or you ever attacking anybody. Even, like, when you get snarky back with people, you make it funny, you know. So that's like your superpower right there.
I found myself in the HR department at about 13 different corporations that I worked for. So I've kind of figured out the art of, like, dodging that. Like, I will say the most ridiculous thing, but I'll also kill them with the most, like, kindness, that they're just, like, walking away going, that son of a bitch, I know what he meant, but I can't say it because he didn't.
I got a question for you. So what makes you post that stuff on your personal page and not your business page? Or what do you post on your business page?
So I rarely truthfully use my business page, honestly. Like, I have over 5,000 followers. I reshare some of my content from my personal page on my business page. But, like, I mean, people sleep on these community groups. Like, they really do.
100%.
Like,
I agree.
I don't pay any ad spend for anything. I'll do 400 grand this year with, like, a really good net. And I mean, it's like, it's because everybody knows me in town, and they see the giveaways I do in these groups. They've they saw me for a while relentlessly post cheeky ads. Like, people post flyers in these groups. They don't want to see that shit. Like, I'd post about, like, so it'd be like a Valentine's Day ad. So I would post my flyer, but my caption would read like, we can't get rid of the bad memories of your ex, but we can move their shit out of your basement, or just something ridiculous to get people to laugh, and
Adam,
you just get tagged in everything.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Adam, your style is kind of like that couple. Now that you're saying it, you know what I mean? How you're interacting with the client, where all of us are kind of staying amongst the junk removal industry and not actually making it towards the client. Well, you're actually making the client laugh, which is making them hire you, which you're getting free ads, free leads, which that's huge these days.
Yeah, and it's great for me, but like I still ultimately want to get off the truck. So it's like right now I like do a really good job of owning my job. You know what I mean? But like if I want to scale it, I can't find a bunch of retards like me to go out and do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm like one of a kind.
Man.
You can't.
I'm glad you just said that, because we're going to bring Ricky into that, because Ricky's been making a lot of videos about scaling, and also you just brought up the perfect time. Ricky, we want to talk to you about scaling. Guys? We know you made that video today, Ricardo. And all, and the proper time when you're ready to scale and when you're not, and all. So I think it's a perfect time for you to chime in.
Cool, great. So who was talking just now?
That's Adam Hummel.
And is that the young kid?
He's no, he's not no. Adam, where are you located and all?
What's that? I'm located in central Pennsylvania. We've chatted online before, Ricardo, I believe. I think I sent you a Facebook friend request and you never accepted it.
Don't cry. Let it out right now. Don't let it out right now. You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry. Now the thing is, if you want to make money, you stay on the truck. You stay on the truck for years. Of course, one of the things about my business is that in 18 years, I've never ran any ads. So I don't know the interaction that most junk removal owners have when it comes to running ads or leads or spending money like that. You know what I mean? And it's probably an advantage to me over the 18 years. Of course, it's an advantage to me over the last 18 years of doing this without running any ads or leads. And all I can tell everybody is there's a lot of stuff out there that you shouldn't be spending money on. Junk removal is the same thing. And this is pretty funny because 18 years ago when I did junk removal, it's the same business that it was today when I worked. I went in somebody's house and I picked up some trash and loaded it and they paid me. It's the same business 18 years ago when I first started.
I just want to stop you there for 1 second because I just want to ask you if you agree with this. But the marketing, the way that people are getting to the client is changing. Is that correct?
Okay, so if you want to say that, I'm going to agree to disagree with you. There's a lot of more tactics. There's a lot of more things. Of course, when I started, Google was barely starting out. The Facebook was there, but nobody really listened to it. It was MySpace, to be honest with you. And yeah, I mean, there's other techniques that you can do. I think someone brought up that they're getting paid business off the message groups off of Facebook. And yeah, hey, I look at it like this. There's always going to be some angle to get business. And if you find a new angle, it is great. I do my videos and throw them up on all the social medias, and then I let the phone ring. And the phone rings constantly for me. So I think it's just such an advantage. And I can only tell newcomers that are in this business, don't give up. We are low man on the totem pole when it comes to this industry. Nobody knows who we are. I mean, you want to call a roofer, you know who to call. You want some, a decking laid out, you call a carpenter. But when you need trash picked up, and you can ask 100 people, and out of those 100 people now, these days, you'll get about 10 or 20 that actually know what the junk removal industry is. But if you need your roof done, call a roofer, and everybody will know that. You see what I mean? So as you're growing your business, you're going to find new ways to advertise this business. And I do agree at a certain point what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying, but guys, we need to stop spending money if we want to stay in business. And I want to say another note really quick. We're talking about this market being so saturated and so competitive. The market is not saturated and competitive. When you say that, You're scaring yourself off in this business. What's going on is that there are so many people starting junk removal, and there are so many people exiting this business. And I saw a video with JRA Lee, and he said 80% of junk removal companies go out of business in the first 2 years. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think that number's 10% off. I think it's 90%. 90% of these people are going out of business, and then 90 more people come into this business, but they're going out of business.
Ricky, why are they going out of business? Is it they're spending too much? What is the reasoning?
Easily, I'm going to answer this really quick for y'all too. The fact is that most of these people, they see the YouTubes, they see the Facebooks, they see Andrew, they see me, they see Matt and JoJo, and they see all these people having such a fun time in this business. And the reality is, this business is a tough business. It is a hard business to get customers. To me, it's became a lot easier because of the repeat and the commercials and those contracts and all that bull. But to a new guy, can you imagine a new guy starting out right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex when I have it on lockdown with Frisco, Arlington, Aledo, and DFW? How are they going to make any money? And most people, they're just like peckers. I give them a job here and there, and I give them a job, but just imagine the difficulty it is for a newcomer, a 17-year-old like you had on your channel just right now, to start in the DFW area. I welcome anybody in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I help them to build a business, but I also know the reality is that in 2 years, they'll be out of this business, and it just won't work out for them.
Hey, Ricardo, can I chime in for a second?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I like a good challenge. So if I come down to DFW and I'm still operating and profitable in 2 years, would that be a success to you?
Oh yeah, I think it's a success. I mean, no. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to take that back. What I'm going to say is this. And who said this question? Who asked this question?
This is Aaron with Shamrock Hauling.
Okay. What I'm saying is this, Shamrock Hauling, is if you come down here and you survive the 2 years, hey, dude, you have a 50-50 chance to survive to 5 years. And that is very, very tough. But think about this, Shamrock. Think about this.
Yeah.
I've only done this for 5 years. I've done it for 10 years. Wait a minute. I've done it for 15 years. Wait a minute. Yep. I've done it for 18 years. Combined everybody on this channel right now, how many years do we have in it? Is it combined past the 18? It's a long time. And to be personally honest with you, Shamrock, in a few years, I'm not going to be doing this. I'm going to be caught up in my haunted house business. And I love junk removal, but I know it's a great business, and I'm going to pass it off to Maddie. And Maddie's all hyped up to do it and stuff. But we've made this business so difficult. We've made this business a lot harder than it is, man. You know, I remember making my first.
The thing, Ricky, though.
Yeah.
The thing that I have a problem with is when you say like the way that you're doing it, it's just not appealing to me. You know, I don't see myself doing what you're doing, and your pride is being 18 years of doing it. Like, I just look at it as you bought a job for 18 years and you've locked yourself in somewhere where I would be looking in the first year or two to scale and make it run itself. So I'm just like, I'm curious, why do you think that it's junk removal is not scalable, that's possible, or you just don't want to do it?
Oh, no. Okay. The reality is, to hit $1 million, and I think all of us want to hit $1 million in this business. Oh my God, we all want to be millionaires. The reality is that to hit $1 million in revenue, a monkey can do that. A monkey can do that if he pours $100,000 or $200,000 a year into ads. Anybody can do that. If I gave you $200,000 in ads, you could probably, a good chance that you can hit $1 million in revenue. But having $1 million when you die, and there's $1 million in the bank, when you die, when you pass away, and there's $1 million for your legacy to live, that's legendary. That's your family living off the money that you made for. Making that money in junk removal is virtually impossible unless you're franchising like 1-800-JUNK and Junk King. And even right now, I know for a fact, because talking to one of my boys that runs a franchise, that they're down like 40%, 35 to 40% right now. They're hurting. Why are they hurting? They're hurting because of us. Small businesses like us.
Ricardo, Russ
yes,
says everyone should mute you and he'll bury your ass in 1 year in DFW. And he also says you appeal to everybody with the common sense of a snail's asshole. How do you respond to Russ's comments?
That's great. And, I love Russ because he's my frenemy. You know what I mean? Russ doesn't know, but listen, I remember the first time I had a beer too, if you know what I'm saying. And I think Russ is just having his moment right now. And I'm going to let him listen. I like picking on Russ, and he's like a little brother to me. You know what I mean? But I have no beef against him. I have no beef. When we brought up the fight thing, we knew he wasn't going to fight Andrew. I told you he wasn't going to fight. So he just picks on people. He ain't going to pick on me because he knows he's my little midget. You know what I'm saying? He's my little boy. He's that little dog that I walk with. You know what I mean? And like Chihuahua, and I kick him every once in a while.
I know you can't see the comments, but Russ is being very inappropriate in the comments right now. That it's honestly disturbing and not. Honestly, Paul, you should probably tell him to stop.
Listen,
let me ask you this, because I want to get down to the bottom of this, because I think it's really, I see it bothering a lot of people in the junk removal industry. You're kind of like deflating their dreams and their hopes when you say certain things. Now my rebuttal to you, Ricardo, is it's if you're expecting to come into any business and just make $1 million in 1 year, that's not really, there's not many businesses that you're going to be able to do that with not a lot of capital to begin with. So, as far as that, you just got to learn how to manage your money. You know what I mean? So say you make good money, you make 200,000 in junk removal, that goes in your pocket. Now it's what you do with that money. It's how do you invest that money? How do you make that money, each dollar work for you? And that's what I've always did in every business that I've got into. And that's what it's all about. So yes, I kind of do agree with you where it's like, you're never going to get that lump sum in 1 year of here's $1 million. You know what I mean? And I do agree with you with a lot of things, Ricardo, because you do say a lot of these guys have scaled so big that they're actually not making money. They're not being profitable. And I start thinking it's kind of like more of an ego thing with them. So I'm really trying to find out right now what's real, who is making the real money, that hauling, bowling money, because I want to get them on and I want to hear from them. But the couple of guys that I've seen that are like at the top, I'm kind of in the same boat with you, brother. I haven't really seen with my own eyes, that lifestyle that shows a millionaire's lifestyle. You know what I mean? Right. So I am curious, guys. So whoever's on the other side, who are some of the successful junk removal companies doing it that big?
Casey from Stand Up Guys owns 15 locations, $9 million a year, 20% margins. He's doing about 1.6 million profit per year.
Okay, and where are they located?
He's got locations all over the U.S. and it's corporate owned. It's not franchise.
I think they hit me up the other day.
Yeah, hit up Casey, man. If you want to talk to a heavy hitter, talk to Casey from Stand Up.
There's so many different ways of doing this though, because Ricardo has his way. He has his way of doing it, right? He's trying to save up for his retirement. He's trying to do all these different things with his business, but he understands his reality. He understands what he wants to do. He has a plan. Now for me, I'm a big dreamer. I'm trying to scale this business. Right now, I'm not trying to get everything into my pocket. I'm trying to scale and grow. And so I'm reinvesting constantly, right? But the thing is to Ricardo's point, that can really hurt me. What happens if something really goes down and all of a sudden this and that, right? So of course, but the thing is like the reality of $1 million business, like, dude, like when you get to being $1 million business, you are technically in the top 5% of business just in general. Now I want you to think about that. All right. The top 5% of business owners, just in general, just breaking $1 million. There is so many businesses out there that don't even come close to that. But the thing is like, just because you have $1 million business doesn't mean you're making $1 million, like they're like, you want to pay yourself a reasonable amount. Like I try to stick to 10 to 15%, like that's a good paycheck for me. And then what's left over gets reinvested into my business constantly. But I have a new business. I've been in business for 4 years. Ricardo's been in business for 18 years. He knows what his end game is. He's trying to get to that little point. He sees the light in the sense of these haunted houses. Like there's so many different like tactics and strategies. But the thing is also if you are just starting, like you got to be a dog, brother. Like,
That'll be
you know,
done.
like reality is like, you know, most people are little bitches, dude. You just want to cry and complain that things aren't happening for you, but you're not doing enough to get out there. That's the reality.
100%. Yeah,
But
I
you know
agree
what
with
I
that.
love about Ricky is that he is brutally honest and he doesn't care about, you know, hurting the feelings. He'll just say straight up what it is, you know, but I've been waiting for that person to be like, nah, that's me, bro. You're wrong. I'm the one making that money. I've built my junk removal. And, you know, Ricky's out there every day making these videos talking shit. And he's talking about, oh, my haunted houses and kind of like, you know what he's doing? He's pushing buttons on everybody in junk removal. Like, oh, I got my little junk removal, but my real money maker is the haunted houses. And it gets everybody stirred up. You know what I mean?
I want to clarify something about that. I'm not. I say the honest truth when I see a talker and not a, you know, and this is something my wife said to me. She's like, Ricardo, you make all these promises, but you don't show me nothing. And she told me that a long time. And I kind of take that kind of lesson and I use it in junk removal. You know, not only am I going to show you my 9 trucks, my trailers, my 2 headquarters, my haunted houses, but I'm gonna show you, and then I'm gonna tell you about it. And I'm going to tell you how much money I make. And I'm going to tell you I'm building a house. And I'm going to tell you, hey, that I have 3 containers on my property. But let's talk about a person that doesn't show you anything. And that is somebody like Russ. Show me, Russ. Show me something you have other than your 2 trucks that you have. Show me something, brother. He talks it, but he doesn't walk it. And I think we can all agree on that. I think there's people that love Russ. And there's people like me that I don't really care for Russ. If he fell off the face of earth, it wouldn't bother me. I mean, you know, I pick on him. That's all I do is pick on him and get him all riled up. And he'll make a comment in a few seconds. And that's one of the reasons why he doesn't come on live, because he can't back it up. He really can't back it up. And I back up everything I say. I love my boy, Andrew. Andrew's always been a friend of mine since he started his industry. He called me a long time ago. I think there's another person on here that's called me a couple of times. Everybody that goes through junk removal has contacted me at some point. And I've given them advice. I do not hide from giving them advice. If you come to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and you catch me and you pass me up, bro, you're a better business than me. And I welcome anybody to do it in the Dallas-Fort Worth. I welcome I love competitiveness.
This is one of them I want to talk right now. This is where I want to go. Andrew showed us the opposite. Andrew showed us how to come in real quick, build up right away with Google Ads, scale, go to 2 locations, I think 3 or 4 trucks, and then sell in 3 years. So
2 years and 4 months. Yeah, I sold.
So, I mean, he did show the other side. And so he did exactly what you just said. He proved it. And he even had the owner that he sold Jedi Junk to on to, like, you know, vouch for everything. And obviously they're still in talking terms, so everything went good and smooth with that. So what's your answer for, you know, guys like that? Because Ricky, the reason why I'm trying to get down to the bottom of this, brother, and I'm hoping that you're wrong, because I want to come in here and not waste my time. You know, I want to scale. I don't do anything small. You know, if I'm looking at a business where I'm just looking to be on a truck for the next 18 years and that's my grind, I'm good at the businesses I have and I'll pass up on this. You know what I mean? But I watch guys like Andrew, I watch other people in the industry, and it gives me the belief, like, all right, bro, if you go and you put in the groundwork for 2 years, get your systems right, start hiring employees and build it like that, it can be scalable, you know? So Ricky, talk to me, talk to Andrew. Is there something we're missing here?
I think, you know, me and Andrew, we've had talks about this in the past. He knows how I feel about it.
Yeah, we've had lots of talks.
Andrew was a unicorn. And I'll keep it as that because I am your friend, Andrew. Yeah. And the thing about it, listen, it's impossible for me to sell my business the way it is right now. And there's 2 reasons. And I'm going to
right now for your business.
There's 2 reasons why I wouldn't sell my business right now. First of all, it's something that I'm going to leave my son. Second reason is the fact that who's going to pay me what it's worth? Listen, I can die right now. And this is no lie, guys. I want everybody to listen to this. I could die right now, and my phone, without doing any more videos, without doing any more content, will keep on ringing for the next 3 to 5 years. by
your
itself.
business
What's
is
it worth?
So, hey, I'm going to
Yeah,
ask you a question, Ricardo, right now. What would it take for me right now to get your bit? Because yes, your business is not ran how I think it should be ran. I could turn you into. How much would you sell your business for right now? Right?
Oh, dude.
But Ricky, we need to know what's part of the business,
Hypothetical,
because
just
in my
saying, what,
eyes,
like,
you own
what do you
brick and
think?
mortar. You actually own the warehouses.
Yes.
You have it. So I mean, you actually do have a business to sell.
Yeah. You know, I don't know, man. I think this is
came down there with 100 cash.
Ricky, name the
hypothetical.
price. I got a freaking blank check right here, right now, bro. I'm about to fill out with your name on it. What's your price right now, my guy?
I would say this. $100,000 isn't going to do it. $200,000. I would say $500,000 would do it. $500,000, and I would walk away.
You can do more.
There is a value for your business. It's just you're not. Anyways, I can go. I have
Bro,
a video
if you didn't do the $45
okay.
fridges, I'd do the million, but I
So-
can't do it.
So my dad owns a plumbing company, and he just retired. And his he ran his plumbing company. He was in it, operating it. He hired employees throughout, but at the same time, he was always owner operator, right? He just retired, and then he sold his business to one of his friends, one of the local businesses that's around town, right? There's so many different ways of doing that, but even that, like, you know, like if you're expecting to get millions of dollars for your business, you know, it's just not how that works unless you're really growing something crazy.
Yeah.
He's doing like, you know, what, maybe like $500,000 a year, you know, like on a good year, you know, he can fluctuate. And he sold it for 250 grand. He essentially took like a small lump sum, you know, like, you know, 30, 50 grand. And then the rest of it gets paid out through the months, you know, throughout the years, which is interesting, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's
like,
kinda
is 1-800-GOT-JUNK just coming through buying brands? You know, I'm not really seeing that. But at the same time, like, you know, how do you get out? Like, how would Ricardo, you know, just like all of a sudden open up his doors and being like, hey, I'm going to sell this, you know? Like, there's a lot of questions.
First of all, I want to make it clear. Hypothetically, I would never sell my business. It's getting passed down. But if I had to, $500,000 for me to walk away, I would walk away. The great thing about it is that you're going to make that in 1 year. And it's kind of sad because
In revenue.
I'm walking away. But I also know the reality. And this is the reality. I'm going to tell everybody this. Having $500,000 in the bank is something that's nearly impossible for every junk removal owner. Okay. I'm going to say it again. Having $500,000 in the bank is nearly impossible for junk removal owners. Now, if you own a haunted house, I will tell you it's very possible, but I disagree.
I disagree with that too. Now, I do agree that it's nearly impossible, but the thing is like if you're a $1 million business, you're in the top 5%. So like the thing is already 95% of people are out. You know,
right?
So like small amount of people are going to get there, but you don't get rich owning one McDonald's. You get rich owning 10, 12, 15 McDonald's. You know, like you have to scale it, you have to grow it. But the thing is like, you know, there are new ways of doing it. There's Facebook marketing. There's, you know, okay. So just like what you were saying, right, about marketing, I was just doing taxes, you know, not too long ago. I spent $120,000 in marketing. You know, that's a lot of fucking marketing. Holy shit.
Yeah.
When I saw
that
number,
pocket.
I was like, holy crap. But the thing is like, you know, we produced about 720,000 in revenue. Now, does that mean that I made 720,000? Absolutely not. But like I paid myself a good 10% plus, and then the rest of the whatever went through gets reinvested into the business. You got to reinvest back in the business, and you can't like save if you're not stable or you know, able to save. You got to be able to do it. You can make $1 million a year and never save a penny. You know,
right?
I think you're either in profit mode or growth mode, and obviously, growth sucks cash. Like Mike Andy says. I don't know if you guys listen to him, but I mean, there's a lot of guys doing big numbers, but at the end of the day, they're barely profitable or they're paying themselves a very low salary.
Most of his franchises that he franchises are losing. I see all his videos. I think they're great because they're always losing money. I love those videos. I think
he has a lot of valuable information though.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely did that. Now, who was talking? Who made that big old rant? Who went on? Who was that?
Dan's Haulaway.
Dan. Oh, Dan, my boy, Dan. The Dan Coffee and Donuts. Am I correct, Dan?
That's right. You know.
Hey, buddy. Okay, so the reality is that a lot of people are growing A lot of people are expanding their business in junk removal. I wish them all the luck in the world. But I'm going to tell the reality. It's difficult. If you're not a dog, like somebody said, you ain't a dog, you ain't going to make it, man. And most 99.9% of us, we ain't dogs, man. We ain't dogs. And here's another one. Here's another stat for you. Only 1% of businesses make it through 15 years. Holy shit. Hey, guys. How y'all doing? Because I'm that 1%. 15 years. 1%. I made it to 18. Running the same stupid, uneducated junk removal business in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Isn't that crazy?
Here's the thing. I don't want to do this for 18 years.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, my thing is,
I've been in the marijuana business probably about 30 years. I mean, so.
Okay, and here's another one. My father-in-law, he worked at AT&T for 35 years. He retired. They gave him a ring and a pension. That's great. That's great. God bless his soul. A lot of people retire from the postal service for 25 years. Great pension. Congratulations. See, we'll do it. We will do it. Us Americans will do it because of the influence of working for a big company. But we won't do it ourselves for our own business, which is just a reality fuck to me. I'm like going, Jesus, I've been only doing this for 18 years. Our postman's been in the war for 25 years. And I'm thinking, Jesus, I make so much more than a postman, but he enjoys his living. And I'm to that point in my business that I'm kind of laying back. I'm going to expand one more time. We're expanding to Oregon in the next couple of months. And, really, I'm not going to do much more, man. I'm cool chilling. I think the reality, I saw the sunset. You can see the sunset here, but I've seen the sunset of my business in the haunted house business. It's a way easier business. It's tearing up my body. I'm 49 years old. I probably need an operation on my shoulder and probably my left knee sooner. And, I'm to that point. But I will burn this business of junk removal on the internet to the ground, and I will tell the realities. And when I say burn it, I'm going to tell the realities of this business, what they are and what they aren't. And I'm going to tell the truth.
Ricky, this is what I need, the reality from you, brother. I need to hear this. What a guy like me in my position owns a couple of businesses and all. I was coming in here looking to scale this business. What would you do if you were in my shoes? How would you use this? Is it possible to scale? I'm a dog. I'm grinding. I come in, I do things quick. You see, I got the hustle in me. What would you do if you were in my position? And before you answer, I just want to say, I respect your route at what you did, and I consider you a very big success at what you did. You used junk removal as a stepping stone. You understood what you were using it for. And you took that, you invested yourself into the 2 haunted houses, which is going to give you more passive income. And then you're building your dream house. So you did everything you accomplished, and you're going to be able to hand something down beautiful to your son. So congratulations on that. So I never, when I talk crap about you, it's nothing personal about you. It's just, I see that not everybody wants to do your route of success, but you are successful. Now, to my question, what should I do with junk removal?
Take your time. Take your time. This is not a race. This is a marathon. Just walk. Take a nice walk like I'm doing. Walk yourself to the finish line. A lot of us young kids, especially young kids, they want to run, and they're going to run and pay their way into it. And you can't do that. Keep your expenses low. A secret I learned from my father was this, and I'm going to tell you the secret right there. Do not worry about your daily sales. Worry about your daily expenses, because the daily sales won't kill you. It's the expenses will. And I've always taken that and I ran with my business. And if you use that, listen, successful junk removal business, even better, successful haunted house business. I think if I start another business, I'm just going to be successful at it because I'm not changing anything about it. I'm just keeping the same pace. But in your case, brother, you're doing videos, so that's a good thing. I haven't seen your website. I don't know what else you're doing. I grew my business with on social media. I use only social media. That's why I do not pay for ads or leads. But I just hope there is somebody that comes out of this thing, such as yourself. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's somebody else on these videos or watching these videos that come out on top. And in 10 years, they're like, that son of a bitch Ricardo said nobody can do it. And look, I've been doing it for 15 years. And I will come on live and I'll say, bro, I'm passing you the torch. Here you go, bro. You did it the right way. You did it this way. You did this thing. You can be successful in this business. I did it the really easy, dumb Mexican, not using a lot of money to do this business. And for some reason, it actually worked, which is crazy. It actually worked. And I use it on my haunted houses. So take a walk. Do not run in this business. Running this business and just buying stuff, buying, BAs and buying CRMs and buying ads and buying leads and buying this and courses and cases and stuff like that. It will ultimately end your business. Take your time, brother. Take it from me, man. It worked for me. And my method still works till this day. And I'll let all the little guppies fish on Facebook because I'm somewhere else. You know what I mean? And that's what I call it. I tell all my friends that work for me, I'm like, how'd you get a job yesterday? Oh, I was on Nextdoor. Man, you're just fishing down there, brother. You're fishing down there. Hey, how'd you get your business? How'd you get your job? Oh, bro, I got it from Facebook Market. Oh, dude, you're fishing down there. Got to get to the top, bro. Got to get to the top. And I mean, you Google, hot tub removal, Frisco, hot tub trampoline removal. We're just up there. We're up there all over the fucking pages. And it's easy for me, but to another person is very difficult. And I do work hard for it, and I put in the hours for it, and I put in the time for it. But guys, I do not want to turn anyone down from this business. I love the fact that people start this business, and I love hearing everybody on this panel just talk about it and stuff. But I think the reality is it's just hard work. Take your time, pace yourself. I've been doing this for 18 years. I know what I'm talking about. And if you disagree with me, hey, brother, I'm for it, man. Dan, if you want to expand your business, Dan, and grow it and blow it up, hey, holler at me in 10 years, bro. Holler at me in 10 years and say, motherfucker, I did it, you asshole. And I'll be like, dude, you got it, bro. You got it.
And this is where I gotta disagree. I agree and disagree with you too, man. Like, I definitely agree. Like, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. But the thing is what is fast? Is fast to you what's fast to me, or is slow to you what's slow to me? Right? Like, I have so many business friends that they get so annoyed with me that talk about this. Like, like if I'm Elon Musk, I know I'm not Elon Musk. I don't have billions of fucking dollars, but like he's not opening a business that's starting $1 million in revenue. It's fucking multi-$100 million in revenue immediately, right? There's so many different starting points. There's so many different finishing lines, but it's what it is you want to grow. Like you are a slow and steady kind of person, but the thing is getting to $1 million in 4 years slow, or is that fast? Is it, is it doing it in 1 year fast, or is it slow? There's so many different questions to that. And then from, Paul, dude, like I have so many questions about your business and how it is that you like did all this, because like you're coming in this as a businessman with prior experience, but the thing is you're still on the truck doing it. That's what confuses me in a lot of ways. Is like, like you have all this business stuff, but you're the one choosing to be on the truck. And I don't know why, but I understand why at the same time. Why did you choose to like actually be on the truck rather than just immediately hiring it out?
Because anything that I get into, I have to learn everything about it. I want to know A through Z. That's any industry I've got in. I've broken it down to a formula, the fastest way I could learn everything. Now, the other thing is I've never did anything manual labor in my life, bro. Nothing. Yeah. When any of my friends I grew up with hear that I'm on a trash truck picking up junk, they think I'm fucking like, you can't even imagine the responses I'm getting. And, I was always that guy that calls in everybody and pays for everything to get done and doesn't care how much he's paying. I just want it done then on the spot, so this is all new to me, and I'm absorbing it all, enjoying it. And I'm going to document the whole way, because as I'm doing this, I'm also seeing there's so many other people that are interested in this industry. And there's a lot of confusing things out there. I'm living it right now. I'm friends with everybody. I'm friends with all the top gurus, and I still don't know what's right and what's not. I have a lot better of an idea than most people, but I'm still scratching my head like, is Ricky the one that's right that I should be listening to right now? Is Andrew right and I should be getting Google ads? When is the right time to do Google ads? Am I ready to get an employee? Then I listened to Ricky's video on today on his channel, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not nowhere near looking for an employee now. So I'm just trying to figure all this shit out. And there's so many different avenues and ways people are going. So the best thing that I could do is just get there and do everything from the beginning. Now, what I keep saying with my girl as we're doing this, every situation we get, we're like, oh my God, if we weren't here on this truck right now, how would we have handled this? We would have had no idea. We would have been blind going at this. There's so many situations that come up on a daily basis on the truck that if I didn't know about it, I wouldn't even know how to tell the employees or what to be ready for or anything. So that is one of the things that I'm learning. I'm also learning what makes sense. You know, I had all the money in the world to come in here and buy whatever I wanted. I went and bought the truck. I didn't got a brand spanking new one, bought it right out. I didn't want no payments, no nothing and all that. Now I'm looking back at that and I'm like, that probably, if I was tight with money, that probably isn't the smartest move to do. But, you know, if I listen to everybody else in there, oh yeah, you go get your brand new NPR. Now that I did it myself, I'm looking, I would go, if I had to go and do this again, which I'd probably be doing in the next 6 months, I would go find a truck that's 3-4 years old.
There you go.
Ricky says something that he didn't even realize. All these new people are coming in and they're almost guaranteed they're going to be out in a year or two. Go look for the guy like me that decided to come in and buy that brand spanking new NPR. Make sure he washes it every month or whatever and go scoop that up as soon as he throws in the white flag and he's had enough and he's not ready. I'm watching everybody in my area. I'm looking at all the new businesses and I'm like, who's got the NPR truck? Who's got my next truck that's not going to be lasting out here? Who's going to throw in the tattle and it's not a dog? You know what I mean? So it's like I'm learning shit like that from putting myself in the driver's seat. You know,
yeah, Paul, I want to interrupt you, Paul. And Dan, I want to make this comment to you. What has happened to us as American people and the cultural divisions that's happened? What is wrong with that person doing a good day's work with his arm, with his hands, and picking up the couch and throwing it? What is wrong with that? That is the American fucking way to live, dude. Just not sitting at home and typing up and finding out that this guy's dropping furniture at his house that he just picked up because he wants it. Not doing that. The American way, Paul's doing it. I've been doing it for 18 years, and I'm going to continue to do it for the next 2 or maybe 1 year. But I feel so much more privileged, Americanized, putting in that hard work of labor every day. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. I see that as something that people will look up to you, not sitting there in the office typing up stuff and doing book work that takes me 5 minutes to do at night. And I guess, Dan, it takes you all day. I have no idea, Dan, and I'm not saying anything negative about you, brother, because I love you, bro. But I mean, doing work on the computer will take me about 10 minutes or 5 minutes for all my work that I've done all week. Why would I want to be at work when I can do it the American way and work with my hands and put in the sweat and put in the hard work? And yes, it's caught up to me. My shoulder hurts and my knee hurts. Yes, it's caught up to me, but it took 18 years for it to catch up to me. And I would do it again if I had the chance. And here's another thing. I made a lot of money doing junk removal. It gave me a house. It gave me properties. It gave me warehouses. It gave me everything that I have. And I owe it all to junk removal.
Ricardo, it's inspiring.
This is Aaron with Shamrock Hauling. So it's interesting. This is my first ever interaction with you, and you're taking me on this wild ride because 50% of me is like, oh yeah, I agree with that. And then the other 50% is like, no, I don't. So I think you got some wisdom, but where you lose me is the 18 years, listen, I love hard work. I love working my face off, but also I would much rather be on my 85 acres working on my custom house with my son and my family rather than doing junk removals all day. So my goal is to scale this business, and if I end up selling it, I sell it, or if I pass it on to my oldest son, if he wants to do that, then that's what I want to do. But to do it for money, I don't know. I think my time is way more valuable because I can generate way more money doing other things coupled with the junk removal. I don't know if anybody else agrees, but
There's a
How many
misconception
years is it
here.
going to take you? How
Hold
many
on,
years is it
Ricardo.
going to
There's a misconception here, right? Now I want you to really think about something, right? You really talked about like you want to spend your time on your land and do all this stuff, right?
Yeah, sure.
You're a young man, you know, like you look like you're in your 30s here. But the thing is dude, like, you know, Jeff Bezos, he's not riding in his land. That dude is like working that company, you know.
100%.
You know, all these big things, like, you know, this all is work. This is not something that like, you know, hey, I'm gonna scale this and I'm just gonna be not doing anything, you know, and whatever, you know, like, yes, there is that physical labor thing, but me, as I want to try to scale the business, right? Like, I
Yeah.
want to be a visionary. I want to, like, you know, like have these big thoughts and dreams and goals, but like I get set back all the time by having to answer that phone or having to go and pick up and do the everyday stuff. You know, like, I totally understand. I make less money because I'm hiring out and I am not on the trucks anymore. But the thing is that is something that I am willing to do, raise my prices and continue to grow my standards. But the thing is like my version of retirement is like completely different than, like, I guess, like what retirement is, right? Retirement to people is like golfing and chilling and just whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah, I don't want to
You know,
just chill and do nothing.
I look at retirement as like I am financially able to do whatever it is I want, in the sense of I don't think I'm ever going to stop working. I am going to be
I agree.
pushing the limits and constantly
Yeah.
of what it is that I want to do. But the thing is there's no end to it. It's just constant. You have to work.
Well, I
I
want to
agree.
chime in here, guys. I just want to give a quick background on me because a lot of you guys might not know where I come from and all. So, the last like 4 years, man, my job, my full time, what I would do every day was fly around the United States and throw arm wrestling events, and you know, literally was like a party, you know, for last 4 years and all. I've set my businesses up where I could wake up and do anything I choose in life. You know, if I don't want to go into my marijuana grows for the next month, will not change anything. My team is there running it. It's been running it for 10 years. I have antique and collectible business. My man Wally's in here. He's been running it for the last 10 years on the East Coast. I have got there already. I could retire and I'm perfectly happy. I've got 3 different places where I live. I'm on the truck. I'm starting a new business. You're all wondering, like, you know, and you're all talking about, oh, I'm chasing the $1 million. Guys, I did that many years ago. I don't need to do any of this stuff. But I also 4 years ago, and I was just like, there's more to me. I don't want to just, you know, fly around and just arm wrestle the rest of my life. There was more to me. I was throwing arm wrestling events. Yeah, they were a lot of fun and helping grow the sport and all. But I wanted to do more. You know what I mean? And I'm your perfect example, you know, and it's not about the money. I don't need the money. It's about building something, challenging myself, I came in here, and that's why I'm going at Ricardo, and I keep asking the same kind of question over and over and trying to figure out, because I came in here with the whole intent to scale this business, meaning I have a place in Florida, I have a place in New York, and I have a place in Cali. Those 3 I had in my head. I'm going and I'm opening junk removal company. Fuhgeddaboutit is going to be in those 3 states. I'm going to hook up all my arm wrestling friends with jobs. I'm going to put the guys that I grew up with, I'm going to have them running them in each state and all. I have all these big goals of scaling. That's why I'm trying to get down to the bottom of this stuff. That's why I'm bringing on these different opinions and all these different people, the guys that are saying they're scaling, they're doing it big and you can do it, because I'm hoping that's true, because that's why I'm here. Otherwise, I'm not just trying to get on a truck and drive around and pick up trash all day, guys. You know what I mean? So when Ricardo goes and says things, you know, he does get in the side of my head, and I'm like, yo, is there a bunch of YouTubers selling me these dreams that really are not going to come true, you know? And then I'm just like Aaron just said, 50% I'm in agreement with Ricardo, but then the other 50, I'm kind of getting mad at him. And I'm like, bro, you know what I mean? You're kind of like deflating me. And if I was in your guys' positions, I'd even be more mad, because he's like practically saying that you can't scale it and become that millionaire that you all want to come in life. So that's why we're doing this show, guys. I don't expect any of us one to have the answer here today, but that's the whole reasoning I'm building this show. This way we could all debate it. And we don't have to leave here and say, okay, this is the clear-cut answer, but each one of our listeners could make their own decision in their head and go what route you want to go. You might want to go the Ricardo way. You want Mr. Yee Yee's way, keeping it simple, not having all these payments. Or you might want to speed things up and you might be an Andrew Thompson where you just go 30, 40K right away a month on Google Ads and you just blow this thing up and all. Well, I want to hear all the different stories and I want to know what is true at the end of the day. This way I can make my observations and make my plan moving forward. So I hope that all makes sense for you guys. I really appreciate all the great feedback you guys were giving, all the great conversations and all. I want to cut this a little short today because I want to lead this up into this new show that we're going to be bringing on here. I wanted to get more into it with Adam and Aaron and Dan, our new guys and all that. We're going to bring you guys back on the Junk family and all. I didn't expect Ricky and Andrew and all that, the whole drama to come out on this and all, but it's a good way for us to start off and, kind of show where we're going with this new show. But I'm definitely going to invite you guys back on the Junk family, and I definitely want to spotlight you guys as well. So we're going to get around to that. Guys, is there anywhere you guys want to shout out? Any events you guys got coming up that you want to let the people know about?
Junk Expo.
I have my haunted house opening up in October. Every junk removal company is free to come out.
Wait, I didn't catch that first part. What'd you say, Ricky?
I have my haunted house opening October 1st. You are all welcome for free. Let's go. Bring the families in.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna take you up on that, man. I want to learn that next, bro. I honestly, before I got into junk removal, I was going back and forth between haunted houses and laundromats. So I'm gonna be picking your brain. One of my best friends I grew up with in New York, he moved down to Georgia and he does a full-time haunted house, and he kept telling me about it years ago. And then when I got into junk removal and I heard you talking it up, I started really looking into it and all. Definitely a very good business that goes perfect with junk removal. It really does. But is there anywhere else anybody wants to shout out? Kevin, shout out your books, man. Let's get people going over to Amazon. Let's get that going. And I also want to do a giveaway on here as well. So Kevin, shout out your books, please.
Hey guys, if you want to get my book, either Leading with Purpose or Leading with Grit, you can go to Amazon and you can find it. The Leading with Grit is the new one that I made purposely because of the junk removal business. Because when I came out with Leading with Purpose, the first thing somebody asked me was, what does this have to do with junk removal? So that's why I came back and, and I made a book that's more, it's purpose-driven leadership in a blue-collar world. And so that's something that people can connect with, because us, like Ricardo was talking about, we're American, hands in, getting dirty, getting gritty with this. And, we're a blue-collar industry. So I figured this would connect more with people.
Hell yeah. And Dan, was there anywhere you'd like to shout out or people to check out?
I just check out all these guys. I love watching Ricardo's stuff. I love watching your stuff, Paul. Check out my things. See everything. You got to find you. You can't just be like Ricardo. You can't just be Paul. You can't just be me or Kevin. You got to do you. Find what works with you, man.
Hell yeah. And guys, get over there on Facebook. Check out Adam Hummel, man. He's got a really popping page over there. I think he gets like 20, 30 million views a month. I mean, he's funny as hell. He'd have you rolling on the floor over there. So definitely check him out. Adam, is there anywhere else you'd want people to check you out?
No, just my Facebook page. Honestly, I was going to give Ricardo an option here to really start saving some money on dump fees. What if you transitioned all the haunted houses into haunted hoarder houses, right? So you can take all the trash from your jobs, stuff it in the house, and you don't have to pay to get rid of it then.
That's gonna stink over a while, man.
It adds to the effect.
Adam, just to let you know, I don't dump at the landfill. I have dumpsters on my property, so I just pay for dumpsters on my property. But that is a good idea. That's a great idea, man. Great idea. Hey, I want to say a comment really fast. I did go to a haunted house convention about 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, and it is an industry that's You know, we're so worried about making our first $100,000 or making our first $1 million. The first conversation I had with the first haunted house guy, he was stuck because he was trying to find out how he can break the $15 million mark a year because he was 14. And we're worried about 100,000 or $1 million. Can you believe that? That's the difference in the industry. It's kind of funny. And I was like, I got deflated. I was like, God. You know,
you got to remember, Ricardo, the entry fee into that, you got to go buy the property. You got to have a property with parking. There's so much stuff. I mean, you're talking $500,000 to get in, you know, and that's on the small side. And, you know, you're only running, 13, 14 days a year. You know what I mean? That 13, 14 days got to pay that mortgage for the whole year. So you know, there's some stress there too, bro. It's not all unicorns and rainbows.
Yeah, I definitely. Who is the 7-figure guy anyway? 7-figure junk removal. Who is that?
That's Russ. That's your boy Russ.
Oh, my boy. My boy says, didn't the haunted house have an insurance fire? Actually, the haunted house did catch fire. I didn't have to file it on my insurance. Because, see, that's what Russ would have done because he doesn't have any money. He would have filed it on his insurance. I paid it right out. And that's the truth. That's the honest truth. I paid it right out. I'm in pocket.
Yeah, you know what we can't get a boxing match with you guys, but I think an arm wrestling match would definitely be perfect. I mean, nobody's gonna get too hurt.
Fair.
We can go see who can win. You know, we could do it at the expo, October 24th and 25th over at Sonoma Strong.
Just to let you know, I will not be attending the expo at all ever because it's in October. In one day that the expo runs, I make, you know, it's kind of sad. I don't want to really give a figure, but I'm going to tell you what Russ does the whole year. The whole year. I want you to reality. This is not a lie. This is 100% true. And I want to say this to everyone. What Russ does in 1 year in revenue, we will do it in 1 weekend. I want you to grasp that. I want you to think about that. What I just said, and I'll repeat it one more time. What Russ does in a whole year, I do it in 1 weekend in the haunted house. And that's the truth.
Nice. When you come out to California, man, I want to take you to a couple fields, bro. I'm going to give you a little tour over here, brother. I'll show you some cool shit. Mr. Yee Yee, what's up, brother? Where should everybody check you out? I know you got your TikTok up and popping now, so definitely check that. That's a new thing for Mr. Yee, so get over there. Where else should they check you out? We know the YouTube channel, No Limit Hauling.
You guys can check me out in Northern California. That's 707 is where we reside. And YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. But, you know, I pump these YouTube videos out every day. And guess what? In the morning, I wake up and I listen to Ricardo. You know what I mean? I listen to Ricardo. You know what I mean? You know, I'm with you in the car when you're drinking your soda, when you're driving. I listen to you.
Thank you.
The Yee Yee ain't afraid to admit it. You know
Thank
what
you.
I mean? It just, I take a little piece of it and just put it into my head. Okay, what can I do better, whatever? But, you know, less is best. And, you know, keep the shit simple like a number 2 pencil.
Yo, you too, right there, bro. I swear I hear your guys' voices. Anytime I start thinking of like buying some like an ad or another lead, I'm like, I hear Ricardo in one ear. I hear yo, keep it simple. Don't do it, bro. And then I hear Ricardo, those are these fucking idiots. They're gonna put you out of business.
Let me take the mic for a minute. I'm a different story. I have a different language. You know, I jumped in this junk removal business. I was very successful already with my career. I was a public transit operator, a chief shop steward for my local union, making $100,000 a year, sitting in the AC. But I wanted total control of my life. I didn't want to work overtime no more. I didn't want to do this report for duty no more. I didn't want to fight grievances, deal with this, deal with that. So guess what? I took control of my life. I bought a truck. I bought a trailer. And hello. You know what I mean? I listen to all these guys who say, you got to get this, you got to get that. Shut up. You know what I'm talking about? Just get out there. Let Facebook know who you are, this, that. And, you know, it's just, it's a blessing. And, you know, I'm one of those guys who had a good career and just walked away from it. And guess what? I was there 7 years. I didn't even tell them goodbye. I just never came back to work. You cleaned my locker out. You do that. I don't care. I ain't coming back. And guess
Mr. Yee
what?
Yee's worldwide now, baby,
And
moving
you know
up.
what I'm talking about? And it's a few $100,000 a year, easy. Taking trash. Hello.
Taking trash.
That's just that. It's basically, it's not physics. You can make it hard or you can make it easy. Period. You know, if you're making a few hundred a day, a few thousand a week, whatever it is, you're making your own money. You ain't working for nobody. You're doing what you do. But this is the Yee Yee. This is what I do. I'm gonna keep on pumping these videos out. I'm gonna keep on putting this content out. The Yee
My boy got the
Yee.
Yee.
This is, you know what I mean? Wherever I go, people say Yee Yee. I was just at a business, at a trailer business, and some guy said, Mr. Yee Yee. I was just like, that's why I do it.
I like you got your little Yee Yee clan now too, man. You got the whole little crew of Yee Yees.
Willy Wonka got the Oompa Loompas. I got the Yee Yees.
I
And
love
trust
it, man.
me,
Dan, you need some Yee Yee. You need to talk to Dan. You need some
the
Yee
Yee
Yee.
Yees. You need the motivation, but I salute everybody. You know what I mean? I see you. And Ricardo, don't worry. You're not a bad guy. I like you. You know what I mean? Don't worry. You should, Ricardo, I think you should invite me to the mastermind and have me a guest, the California guest on a mastermind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got
And
two
let
people.
him let him see how this guy does it with
Yee
less
Yee.
is best.
That's
Hello.
Well,
Now,
guys,
Aaron, my man, I want to get a one-on-one with you, bro. We got to definitely, I want to do a one-on-one interview with you. So when we get off of here, I want to definitely set that up, man. We definitely got to get to know you a little better. But quick shout out, man, like, and give us like anything you got coming up.
Hold on, Ricardo. Do you have something to say? Go ahead, Ricardo. Spit it.
No, I have to run. My mastermind's about to start right now, so I have to run. I appreciate everybody, guys. Thanks, guys. Kevin. Thanks, my boy Yee, Dan, and I didn't get. Yeah, I didn't get the other people's names. I didn't get the guy with the cowboy hat. I love the cowboy hat.
Aaron, Shamrock Hauling. Thank you, Ricardo.
Oh,
He's in your area too, Aaron. Where are you? Where are you located?
So I'm in Phoenix right now.
Ah, okay. I thought you were in Texas. My bad, bro. Okay.
No, all good.
Yeah,
I just got back from St. Louis, so I operate that area too.
Awesome, dude. That's great. That is great. That's great. Hey, man, I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a great night. God bless y'all, man. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.
So, Aaron, let's shout it out, man. Where's your social media platform? Like, what's your strong?
So,
one?
man, I'm real big on personal branding. So, Aaron Bievenue, B as in boy, I-E, V as in Victor, E-N-U-E. Find me on there. And Shamrock Hauling is the personal page or the business page. And I love it, man. So, Paul, next week, if you got some time, I'm not far from Cali. We'll go to a restaurant, eat some steak or whatever you want. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, sounds good, bro. That sounds amazing, man. Hell yeah. And guys, I just want to thank everybody in the chat for tuning in. Lots of great talk and lots of great conversations. If you guys haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button. And yeah, guys, we're gonna start getting this new show in order. I didn't do what I wanted to. I wanted to kind of find out who's going to be the co-host. We kind of got sidetracked on this one, but we'll get that going in the next couple of weeks. So keep your eyes out for that. I'm still coming up with some names and of the show and thinking of some other co-hosts. So if you guys have any recommendations, definitely hit me up and let me know as that. And thank you guys for tuning in to episode 6 of the Junk Family and have a great night. But let's see the gun show before it ends. Yeah, baby.
It's small ones, man.
Love it, guys. Love it. Have a great night, everyone.
Have a good one.
All right, see you guys.